Hi, and welcome to the JC Exposure, where we continue our series on the Book of Proverbs. Last week, on the 8th of November 2010, we were lucky enough to have a young man by the name of Josh Russell come preach to us, as promoted by our Pastor Andrew on Twitter.
I just wanted to introduce you to Josh Russell. Josh is going to be speaking on Proverbs.
Andrew's camera work is always really interesting. Anyway, so Josh last week preached to us on the place of wine in Proverbs, and more importantly, under God's rule. Okay, let's do it. ABC, fast forward.
Number 1.
Josh starts off by introducing to us, or reintroducing to us, the importance of fear of the Lord in understanding Proverbs.
Proverbs is no different. In fact, the fear of the Lord is really the most important theme in the book of Proverbs.
Josh fully fleshes this issue out, making sure we fully understand this, and by doing so creates a great foundation into which we understand wine and how to use wine, which, as in all things in this world, are one of God's creations.
Number 2.
Josh points out that there are rational and irrational fears, that in this world we're pushed to be fearless and conquer our fears. For example, fear of snakes, or as Josh points out, a fear of long words.
Hippopotamonstrophobia is a fear of long words.
This makes sense as our fears tend to control our behaviors and our lives. However, the one fear that we should desire to control our lives and ourselves and our behavior is the fear of the Lord, which is really the fear of sinning and therefore being out of relationship with the Lord.
Number 3.
When it comes to wine, watch your friends. When it comes to wine, watch your friends.
Ooh, see, he repeats it twice. Repetition generally is a sign that something is important. Josh says this important thing in reference to Proverbs 23, verse 19 to 21, where it does not direct someone to be not a drunkard or to not drink. It directs people to not join in or to be involved in. Josh declares this is a case due to influence, that those who do such things will influence your behavior, affect your behavior, produce your fear of the Lord regarding this excess use of wine or alcohol.
Number 4.
Number 1, vision. Number 2, speech. 3, nausea. 4, numbness. 5, stupor. And 6, addiction. I hope you noted all them down.
We noted it down, Josh, and we thought it was important. These 6 hooks, as Josh calls them, are exposed in Proverbs 23, verse 29 to 35. Check it out for yourself, or listen to his sermon. He explains it pretty clearly in that. At this point, I'd like to point out that doing these things, besides addiction, is not sinful. Being visually impaired, numb, or in a stupor isn't itself sinful, but the potential things that can occur in the state or state of mind of visual impairment, numbness, or stupor can lead to sinful things. With excess of wine and alcohol, you're more likely to give into temptation, lose control, and be sinful. In addition, the continued reliance and addiction to alcohol is letting it control your life when the fear of the Lord should be in control of your life.
Finally, number 5.
Now jump ahead to John chapter 2, or look up on the screen. We're going straight to Jesus. Jesus fulfills these promises. He is the answer to those that honor the Lord. And he's showing us that he is the great master who puts on the wedding feast.
Josh wraps up identifying wine is created by God and it exists to be a blessing under God's rule. This is seen in the Old Testament in Isaiah 25, verses 6 to 8, and specifically as well in John 2, Jesus is the provider of wine for a wedding, and the wine symbolizes Jesus' blessing. It's a demonstration of Jesus as the provider of God's blessing for this wedding and the wedding union covenant between Jesus and the church and his people. As such, we're to enjoy wine under God's authority, as with everything in this world. And this means two practical things. One, enjoy it under the worldly authority, unless it is against God's laws. And number two, enjoy it in love. Now you're asking, how do you do that? For that, you'll have to listen to Josh's sermon. So, that was the Book of Proverbs on wine. I feel like some wine right about now. Anyway, so don't forget to visit our website and our Facebook, where you can find a lot more content like this one. In addition, don't forget to rate and post any comments below, especially if you have any questions. So, I'll wrap up now. This was the JC Exposure, ABC Fast Forward, and we'll see you next week for the Book of Proverbs on work. See you then, bye.